How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today I'm going to show you exactly how much I spent so far in parts to try to get my cheap wrecked McLaren back on the road. And that number may surprise you, but it also might not. It was very expensive. So if you guys are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it, and consider subscribing if these, I'm not even pointing to the car at this point, if these are the kinds of projects that you like to see. Now, if you guys are new to this entire project, this is my 2016 Mclaren 675LT. I got it quite a bit ago, and it's been, well, it's seen better days because this was in a really bad accident. Now, I got this car on a website that I use a lot, and that website, of course, is AutoTempest, and they are the sponsor of this entire build series. Now, you guys know that I use AutoTempest for everything, but what you might not know is I actually have a new series called FoundOnAutoTempest, where you guys send me your listings, and I put them in a top 10 list, also so I can make fun of what you send me. But you can send those links to FoundOnAutoTempest@gmail.com and check out AutoTempest in the link in the video description below, because that is the best way to find any car you're looking for, whether it's something new, whether it's something used, whether it's something that needs a little bit of work or a lot of bit of work. You can go to AutoTempest and you can search the entire country in one click, all the cars, one search. So today is a call to action for you guys, because time is running out. Time is running out for me on this build because I need to get this underway, and I really want to get this started. You have no idea. But time is also running out because we have these awesome shirts, and these are on my bunker branding page, so go check these out. Every single dollar goes to Mark Carricker's family, and you can check out my last video to get the details on that. But at the time of me making this video, we still have some of the original 100 shirts left, and the original 100 are gonna get a piece of this car. Probably gonna be a piece of this carbon fiber or something. I will hand sign it and then deliver it to you. I'm not gonna deliver it, the mail is probably gonna deliver it. I will hand sign it, and you'll get that as part of your shirt. So it's not only this shirt, it's every shirt in my store. Go check that out in the link in the description below. But another call to action is the fact that I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this car as far as the styling, as far as the power. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna do a stock build? Am I gonna do something really crazy? Am I gonna do something that takes this to the next level or completely ruins it? I don't know, but I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions throughout this entire video. So this video is gonna serve as an update so I can let you know where my projects lie and exactly how hard they are to complete. So without further ado, let's check this out. Now, this is, well, it's a lot of carbon fiber, and these are some of the rarest parts in the world. Now, one of the things I love about McLaren is that they have a really fanatical devotion to lightweight. I mean, you thought Lotus was bad? McLaren is way worse. This is all carbon fiber, everything you see here. And it's not just carbon fiber like a regular weave. You see right here? The carbon fiber is symmetrical. So every panel here, even if it's painted, has that carbon fiber symmetrical weave. That is just insane. So I should probably address how I got these, because these were not easy to find. Let me tell you, there are cars that you think are exotic, like a Lamborghini Gallardo, and those parts are kind of hard to come by. Not with this. They only made 500 of these in the world, and the Spider version has slight differences. This has slight differences from the 650S, and if you look at the bodywork, it is completely different. So literally, there are only 500 examples of these body parts ever made, and to ask McLaren to make more, that is a very expensive proposition. So I got together with a company called Hybrid Performance Limited in the UK, and they supplied these parts. Now, this was not a collaborative deal. This was full fare. I paid for every single one of these parts, but these parts were extremely discounted from what McLaren wanted brand new. And I'm gonna go over what I paid and what McLaren would have charged me. Now, I do have to give a shout out to Alex Rebuilds. He initially hooked me up with Zach, the owner of Hybrid Performance. So I'm gonna link everything in the description below. If you need McLaren parts, that is the place to go. I would go there first before anything, before going to the dealer or anybody. That guy knows his stuff and he was very courteous. This got here from the UK quite a bit ago and I just made a second order, and I'm gonna tell you what's in that second order after I go through all of this. And the first up is this amazing back bumper. First off, this bumper is huge. It is completely different from what you'd see on the McLaren 650, on the 570. This is its own thing. It doesn't have any cross compatibility. And this is a used part, likely from a car that went on a racetrack, because it does have some minor imperfections. You see that there's some cracks and some blemishes, but these are easily fixed. Now, this was about $3,000 to $4,000. The reason why it's so expensive is because a new one from McLaren is about $18,000. So this was a very good savings, even with any sort of carbon fiber work I have to do. This should bolt on right to the car, but the car is not getting anything bolted onto it. Everything in here has to drop out. That's gonna be in the next episode. Coming down here, you'll see that this is the trademark long tail. This is the LT wing. This I actually got from an eBay seller, and I believe this was about $4,000, something like that, because again, they don't make this for any other car. And if you think that this wing is similar to a 650S, you are wrong, because the fenders, the quarter panels themselves are different. This has a little inlet, in like a little scoop here, and that's where the wing sits, so it's all one flush mounted piece. The 12C and the 650S does not have this, and the wing starts right about here. We don't want that. We don't want a 12C wing. We want that big daddy beluga whale wing. Beluga whales, they don't have wings. Whales don't fly. I mean, you can just see the difference between this and our broken piece right here. This I will keep because it's really cool and it shows how far the car has come, but there's no repairing that, not unless you're gonna spend more money than it would cost to get a new or used one. Now, this was very hard to come by because, again, this is only a 675LT part, and this, I don't know what it's called, and this goes above the exhaust. The exhaust goes through here, that titanium exhaust. Actually, this titanium exhaust that is now a little bit, let's just call it sandwiched or tacoed, or well, it's just bent. That goes underneath there. You can see it in all of its glory, and this is painted black for some reason. I don't know why you'd have this car in black, but I digress. This is a very good carbon fiber panel with minimal body work that needs to get done. There's just some sanding marks, but this is all gonna get repainted anyway. Coming over here, we see that, actually, you know what? I lied. This is not a carbon fiber panel. This is an aluminum panel, and this is from a 650. So this is one of the parts. It still is very light, but this is one of the parts that is cross-compatible with the 675 because the front end, other than the bumper, is basically the same. Now, I could get some 675 like scalloped fenders, but those were like $4,000. And honestly, I like the look. I like the clean look of this. And I also don't want any rocks or anything going into the windshield. So I think that is gonna be good enough for this build. But what's awesome, and not just good enough, but just completely perfect, is this bumper. Now, the top part of the bumper, that's not perfect. This is a used panel, and you can see that, well, it kind of went into something at some point, but the bottom part, this is brand new from McLaren, and it looks amazing. One of the things I want to ask you guys, however, is, you see how this is matte carbon fiber? I am always a fan of gloss carbon fiber, and I think gloss would make more sense on this car, but the race car lover in me really likes the matte. So you guys let me know, should I do matte carbon fiber or gloss carbon fiber? Gloss would be making this stand out from other 675LTs because all 675s have the matte. Well, at least most of them do. So I'm a little bit torn. You let me know in the comments, what should I do? Now coming back here, we have our wheels, the really light 5-spoke wheels that are a little bit lighter because they got curbed and they got very, very bent in the accident. These are likely repairable. I can probably repair these and get these a different color. I actually do like them in a light silver or something like that. Shmi has an awesome, awesome color on his wheels, but he also has the wheels I like. I'll show you a picture of that right here. Those 10 spokes really make the look of the car. And these 5 spokes, I think they're a little bit thin, so you guys let me know. Should I get the 10 spoke or keep these 5 spoke wheels? The price difference, however, is quite a bit because to restore these, it'll probably be around $1,000. But if I wanted to get those 10-spoke wheels and then restore those, that's gonna be closer to $6,000. So, that's a lot of money. But speaking of a lot of money, this car and its parts are so beyond what I'd consider reasonable for any sort of part that I have to do a lot of stuff sort of DIY and repairing rather than replacing. Now, there are a few things that I don't want to repair because, well, it's just completely unsafe. Like, I have a problem with that front subframe, and that front subframe, I can potentially bend it back or add shims or just re-weld it or do something. But the problem is I'm never gonna know if that is structurally compromised. So I bought a new subframe, and that subframe was about $4,000. Now, Mclaren wanted around $10,000 for that same subframe. And again, I got it from Zach from Hybrid Performance, and he hooked me up on that. But the issue right here is actually not that big of a deal. Now, let me raise this car up so I can show you what I'm talking about. Now, since I showed you this damage in the last episode, a lot of you told me that I can go to a boat repair place or an airplane repair place or even a bike repair place that deals with carbon fiber and have this fixed. So that's actually exactly what I'm gonna do. There's one around the corner. I'm gonna go see what he thinks of this, and then when he stops laughing, I'm going to tell him, no, I'm serious, I really need you to fix this. So this is all gonna get fixed at some point, hopefully. Also, I have to fix this because this is how the door attaches. You can still see the hole here, but it just got ripped out. So I'm gonna have to cover this up. I'm gonna drill a hole in, and then I'm going to screw in one of the bosses that attach to the strut so I can have my billionaire doors. I actually have the piece that goes up right here. So if I can get this piece off, it's not gonna be a big deal. It's only fiberglass. Now, one of the things I'm very thankful for is the fact that I could get all these parts, and I learned that the parts I got brand new from Mclaren actually come in gloss carbon fiber. This is what you get when you order an unpainted part from Mclaren, which is really, really awesome. I have the side skirt piece that is in matte carbon, and I also have brand new 675LT decals directly from the manufacturer. I also have some skid plates here. Oh, another 675LT specific part. This is the exhaust housing. That looks freaking awesome. Now, there's a lot of these little parts. We have, this is probably another piece of carbon. This literally weighs nothing. I mean, this is like a potato chip, but this did not cost the same as a potato chip. Please don't eat this. The car also did come with the engine carbon fiber panels. I just put those to the side. And even though it was in a big accident, these 675LT specific headlights are in great shape. They just need to be polished. The door, however, is not so good. So the door has to be replaced. I do have a door in my shop somewhere. I have to go find it. But you can see that this is a completely Alcantara door panel. And usually in a 650S or a 12C, they have AC controls. But since this is a lightweight version, they put the AC controls in the middle where they would be on a regular car, and they just put like a little panel here with a speaker. So everything here is as it should be. We have the door switch or something, we have the window switch, and the panel itself looks like it just needs a little bit of TLC and she's good to go. I do need some mirrors. I don't know what happened to them. They just Runoft, Runnoft. And I do need that aforementioned subframe. Now the subframe is gonna be interesting to take off because I don't know everything that's attached to it. And I know that these are very specific to the car because the 650 and 12C had different steering racks. There is a TRW and a T-Drive steering rack. And if you ask me the difference between them, I have no idea. I don't even know what those letters stand for. You can even see the bend here. Like that is pretty substantial. This is why it's so important to make sure that you dot your T's and cross your I's. And I understand that that's not the correct phrase, but just make sure that you go over everything in a car before putting it back together, because these rebuild projects have lots of little bits and pieces that get missed. And this, if you didn't know it was there, this would basically screw up your alignment. This would introduce different characteristics of the handling. This would do a lot of bad things to a car that is this high strung. So I'm glad I found it. I'm glad that it is something that I could buy, and I'm glad that I could show you, because this is the right way to do it, replacing everything just as the factory would. So you can see that there's a sea of parts right in front of the car, and there's gonna be even more parts because in the next episode I'm gonna be taking out that engine. And I do have the McLaren service manual, which is gonna make things a little bit easier, but also the McLaren service manual is meant for the McLaren factory, and I don't have a McLaren factory here. This is just a regular shop. So that's going to be very, very interesting. But I want to let you know how much all of this was. Now, I just made a second order of every little bit and piece that I need on this car, because after I took everything off, I realized that I need a lot more than I originally thought. So that is actually on its way from the UK. And with that order and this initial order and all the stuff in there, that bill was $50,000. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 50 grand for parts. And that hurts the bank account, but it is definitely worth it, because that bill from McLaren would have been north of $200,000 or more, because we still don't know what the deal is with that carbon tub. That would likely have to be replaced. And at that point, that is, the sky's the limit for that if I need a new carbon tub. But I think we can fix it. I think we can get it done on a budget. And whether or not this is gonna be actually cheaper than one with some miles on it, you can probably find these for around like 180-ish. I think that the ability to learn how these cars work and the ability to actually work on these cars with a sense of satisfaction that you rebuilt this car from the ground up, I think that is absolutely priceless or worthless. I don't know the difference between those two words. Now, the last thing I want to ask you guys before I close this update out is what color I should paint this car. Now, I have a color in mind. I'm sort of set on it, but I can be swayed in either direction. Now, I do really like the Volcano Orange, which you can see right here. It is a beautiful color. I also like the Chicane Gray, but as I've said before, if I spend so much time and so much money making a car this color and giving it a paint job that just looks like better than the factory, and then somebody says, hey, is that primer? I'm just gonna walk into traffic. I could just do Delta Red, I could do black, or I could do baby diarrhea green or whatever that is. I could follow Shmee and do a MSO Cerulean blue. I can do lots of different colors, but you guys let me know what color you would like on this 675LT. And another thing is I have the ability to get a roof scoop for this car, an MSO original roof scoop. Now, that is a very expensive option. So please like and comment and share this with your friends, because this project is extremely expensive. But that from McLaren is a $40,000 option, that roof scoop. And I can get it for a lot less, but it still hurts the bank account. So you let me know if that's something you'd like to see. I would love a car with a roof scoop, but I'm still kind of torn on whether that makes financial sense. I mean, none of this really makes financial sense, but I just kind of like doing it and I like sharing it with you. So I think that's going to be it for today's episode. Now, I hope you enjoyed that update. It was just an update. In the next episode, we're going to be taking out that engine, which I'm told is not as hard as I think it is. and I already think that it's not that hard. So maybe it's just super easy, or maybe I just jinxed myself and I probably shouldn't say things like that. But I hope you guys can join me for that adventure. So until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like this that have a lot of parts invested and are getting a lot more, you guys need to wrench every day.